Welcome to the second batch of the students who will follow the Bachelor of Software Engineering program at the Open University starting in 2021. You had your inauguration on Sunday the 4th of July, and this video is about how to log into the learning management system. Unfortunately, many of you have already logged into the learning management system and are asking why they cannot see courses. You cannot see courses because your courses have not been activated yet. We will activate them after you watch 2 videos which will explain everything about the learning management system. Some students have already lost their passwords. Now in this video, we will tell you how to recover your password for the learning management system in case you forget it. So please again understand that this video is only part 1 of 2. In this video, I will review information given to you already about obtaining your S number, accessing the Open University Gmail address that has been created for you, accessing the Open University Microsoft account that has been created for you, and finally, how to log in to the learning management system and change your password, and also how to recover the password on the learning management system. Please wait for part 2 of this video before trying to access any courses, and please do not email back and waste our time by saying that you cannot access any courses. So first, I will once again go over information that was sent to you 2 days ago about how to obtain your student ID number. Right? To obtain your student ID number, you have to go to this link here and enter your NIC number with a capital V if it is necessary in your NIC number. You have to click on submit. Do not press return or enter after entering the number. You have to click on the submit button. If you have any problems with this site, please send an email to this email address given below. In all emails that you send, you must help us to understand who you are. That is a common rule. When you send an email, we have thousands of students. So in every email, please include if your student number, if you have one, and in this case, because you don't have the student number, please include your NIC number and your correct mobile phone number. However, I believe that all students in the second batch have obtained their S numbers successfully. The next thing I want to talk about is the help desk. So we have set up a help desk to assist people who have problems. This is the first page of the help desk. This is a work in progress. It is being developed every day, and one thing we are working on is translations to Sinhala and Tamil for those whose English is still not as good as it should be. Right? We will come back to the help desk later. In the meantime, let us continue. Now to activate your Open University Gmail account, you have to go to Gmail, and your account has already been created. The username is your S number, which is S case sensitive. That means that it doesn't matter if you use a simple S or a capital S here, and also in this part. The default password is your national identity card number. Now the default password is case sensitive, and in this case, unlike in the previous site where you obtain your student number, here you have to use lowercase v if your NIC number has a V in it, right? And the help desk already has a link to show you how to do this. I will just have a quick look at that link. Here it is, how to log into OUSL email account. And let us open it here. And you will see a little animated GIF that quickly runs through the steps of how to enter your account. Here in this case, the person who made this is entering some other account, but you have to put in your S number at ousl.lk as I have given the instructions. And you have to put in the default password. Now immediately after this, you will note that first a new password is created. As you can see, and then recovery phone number and a recovery email are added. You have to do this. We cannot help you if you lose access to your Gmail account. We can help you, but we don't want to help you. Shall we put it that way? If you lose access to your Gmail account, we hope that you have understood how to be safe on the internet and set these recovery methods, right? So when you set the recovery methods, it sends you a code to the mobile phone number and to the email address, because Google is checking about it. And then, so please review this GIF very carefully on the help desk and follow all the steps to set up your account. As we saw in the animation, you must change your password immediately. New passwords are case sensitive. It matters whether you use capital or simple letters. Remembering this password is your responsibility, but as we forget things, you should immediately set up a recovery email address and recovery mobile phone number, so that if you forget your password, you can recover it without wasting the time of the staff in the center. Don't forget that we have near 2,500 students, and if even 250 of them forget their passwords, that's a lot of work for somebody. The next step is to activate your free account on Microsoft 365. Microsoft 365, you have actually not just an email account, but you have access to some Microsoft Office apps which you can use freely, and you have access to space on the cloud where you can store your files. The username is the same as for the Gmail account, but the default password is different because they do not allow numbers in the password at the beginning. Once again, we have given you on the help desk instructions in a little animation how to create the account. So first of all, this person is logging in to the Gmail account relevant to the account. And then you will see he is searching for this free Microsoft, which is the link that I gave you, and creating a new account by entering the school email address. So the Open University has already identified you as students of an educational institution. So for students of educational institutions, Microsoft is giving certain apps and certain services for free. So we are using them because it makes our teaching and learning much easier. Okay, and so here is the steps. You get a sign up code that goes to the email address that you have given, and then with the sign up code you sign up for the Microsoft account, which is here. Follow the instructions. Do not refresh the page until the whole thing is set up. We have actually many more things available here than we are talking about. We will perhaps make another video later. Right now, we are asking you to create and set up the Microsoft account because we will use it for some online classes later on. Right, I will get out of this. And here also you have password reset, and instructions are given here how to reset the password if you lose it. Right, I won't look at that now. You should be able to look at these things and understand what to do once again without bothering us. Now that we have covered how to access and activate your Open University Gmail account, let us move on to how to access and activate your account on the learning management system. The website is given here, cites.openlearn.lk, and here to log in your username is now only your S number. Before it was your Gmail address had your S number and @ousl.lk. For the LMS, don't get confused. Your username is only your S number. For example, S followed by 8 digits, whatever has been assigned to you. The username now is not case sensitive, just like the Gmail address. Your initial password is your NIC number. For example, 9 digits and a capital V, or for those born after year 2000, there are more digits. Now let us go to a browser and, using an example account, show you how to log in and activate and configure your LMS account. And we have to put in our web address. Now I should remind you here that there is also a mobile app. By the way, the software that we are using for the LMS is known as Moodle, and there is also a mobile app for Moodle. I will write it down here. This is the name of the software. It is free and open source software. When you access through the mobile app, if you do it for the first time, it will redirect you to a browser because you have to reset your password as you log in for the first time. Once you do that, you can log in through the app directly to your account without using a web browser if that is convenient for you. So here we have accessed the LMS, but we are not logged in, so we have to go to login here. And as I said, you have to use your S number as your username. In this example video, one of your fellow students has been kind enough to allow me to use his account to show you how the LMS looks, because it looks different for teachers and for students. So we will use his S number and his NIC number to log in. I will not save it, but if you like, you can save it when you log in for your account on your computer or your phone on a web browser. So now we have come to a particular account. In this case, our friend Zakir, who has allowed me to use his account. The very first thing that you have to do is to change your password. That is mandatory. You cannot go to any other part of the LMS without doing that. This is to make sure that you and only you have control of your account. After that, control of your account is your responsibility. If somebody else uses your account to do something that is against our policies, you will be responsible. So that is very important for you to understand. So here I will reset the password. Of course, I will be sending this new password also to Zakir, otherwise he cannot access his account. It asks for the old password and the new password. And we will save changes. Once again, I am not saving it here. So the password has been changed. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you how to reset your password if you forget this password. Because we do not want you to bother us. There are several thousand students in this program, and if many of them lose their passwords and ask us to reset the password, we cannot do our other work. So if you lose your password, for that, let us show you how it works. There is a password reset option. We'll log out and let us log in once again. So if you have forgotten your password, you can click on forgotten your username or password here. And you can search by username, or you can search by the email address that is associated with your LMS account. Now, the email address that is located with your LMS account is your official Open University Gmail address, not your personal Gmail address. Okay, so it is important first to activate that Gmail address before trying this password reset. If you ask for the reset will go to that account. If that account is not accessible to you, then you will not be able to reset. That is why the information was given to you at the beginning. So we can search by username here, and in this case we can use the S number that is Zakir's S number. Or we can put in the email address which is his official Gmail address. In this case, I will search and click here. Then you get a message saying that if you supplied the correct username or email address, then an email should be sent to you with instructions how to change the password. Okay, so I have also been given kindly by Zakir access to his official Gmail account, so I can go there immediately and we should see an email coming. Here we go. Immediately an email has come, password reset request. So you have to click on this link, and once again you come to the page where you reset your password. So I will set another password now and save the changes. Once again, of course, I am not setting it here. So now before we go to the other course, I want to discuss two very important things which I should probably have told you at the beginning. You should edit your profile. Click on profile and click on edit profile. You will have this section here. Your name and your email address cannot be changed by you. This is because we have to keep track of you by the name that you have given to our registration section. That is your official name when you are at the Open University, and we cannot give you your marks and your certificate properly if we lose track of who you are. But there are a few other things that you can change. For example, whether or not you want other people to see your email address. What they will see is not your private email address, but your Open University email address. You can add a description about yourself if you like, but what I recommend that everybody does is to add a little picture of themselves. Here it says maximum file size 20 megabytes. Please do not add a 20 megabyte picture, since it's going to be very small picture appearing. Even 50 kilobytes or even 25, maximum 100 kilobytes should be well more than is necessary to show your picture, so that your face will come with your posting and your name. That makes it more friendly. Some people put in other icons. If you are going to do that, please do not select something that other people will find offensive, but you are free to select any image you want so long as it's not offensive. That's very important. If we think it's offensive, we will take action and you may have a problem with us. Once you have done these changes, you must click on update profile, otherwise the changes will not be saved. Similarly, the other thing you must do is go to your preferences page. There are many preferences here, but I will discuss only one that is important for your use of the LMS. There are many others which may or may not be important. You can explore these things. It's very important to understand that you cannot make any huge problem for the LMS. You cannot break the LMS. As students, you are allowed to change things which are within your control, will not make a difference to the LMS. So you can go in and make some change and see what happens, whether there is a difference in what you see. Here I want to point out about these forum preferences, because the discussion forums are a very important part of this LMS and how we will use it. If you do not always log into the LMS, you should select notification to your email. So you can either select a single email per forum post, or you can select daily email with full posts or daily email with subjects only. I recommend very much that you take only one daily email with only the subjects. Once you see that, you can decide whether it's something important for you that you want to go to the LMS and look at it. If you select an email for every post somebody makes on a forum, then you will get lots of emails. So that's not practical. Then the other thing is, of course, you must subscribe to the forums that you post, otherwise you will not see. So here forum auto subscribe. It's very important. You have a choice of whether or not to subscribe to forums if you want the notifications to come. But obviously if you post, you must be subscribed to it. Then it's also useful sometimes to keep track of what you have already seen. Select this, new post will be highlighted. And here when the forum post notification comes, probably it's better to say, do not mark the post as read. And I will save these changes. Of course, Zakir can come and change them back if he